rearranging desks before I started the show. So I've been downstairs for like an hour just rearranging stuff. So I got 2 desks going, getting that office vibe going down here.
That baby.
From less of a man cave, more of an office. Kind of both still though. So that's what I got going on. All right, so we are back on another Wednesday. We're going to let a couple people get in here before we make our big announcement, but we definitely got to give a thanks to Wisco Ball for giving us the idea for one of our segments that's going to be coming on Friday.
Yes, sir.
Which is the Wisco Disco. That was Tyler, who owns Wisco Ball. That was his idea. We're going to be using that to describe the last 3 players on the roster, the last 3 players off the roster, or the first 3 that would be standing outside the disco waiting to get in. So that's going to be one of the segments on Friday when we do our final Packers show before we start doing every single Friday for Packers season.
Let's get it, baby.
Next Friday is going to be the only Friday we don't have a show until the end of football season.
Do you know how happy Chantel is, dude? She's like, you don't have to take notes? I'm like, no, we're good to go. We are good to go. We'll take a Friday off, but then after that, it's grind time.
Yep. Yeah, that's going to be every single Friday coming up there. So we got the Wisco Disco coming Friday. We have stat projections. All 4 of us made stat projections, so we're going to give a consensus on the stat projections that we have coming up for 6 players on offense and 6 players on defense. We're going to be talking about NFC North record predictions. What else we got? Talking about some preseason players that impressed us, some that we're just completely done with. What else we got? Is that it? I feel like there's something else yet. Oh, bold predictions. How could I forget about bold predictions?
Yeah,
that's like one of our things. How could I forget bold predictions?
That's my favorite segment. That's one of my favorite segments. It's amazing. I love when we do it for Bucks, for Brewers. Like, it's the best. We were gonna do that for Badgers coming up here. So
yeah, next Wednesday is gonna be the Badgers show.
Yeah.
All right. So here it is. Jake and I, we have an exciting announcement. And so last Thursday, Jake and I held a meeting with Fansided. So if you might know a little bit about me, I've been writing for Fansided for almost 2 years now, almost as long as Jake and I have been doing the show. So we had a meeting with them on Thursday, and we have been invited to join the Fansided podcasting network. It's a big deal for us because basically all of our content will stay the exact same.
Yep.
Which is the important thing. That was the main thing that Jake and I were concerned with, was being able to keep our content the same.
Yeah.
But you might hear a couple advertisements here and there, more than you hear us talk about Wisco Ball or Parker Johns in the future. But basically what it's going to allow Jake and I to do is to make some money for the show for a little bit, and then turn around and we're going to put that money right back into the show. So hopefully we can do more by having those expanded capabilities. So Jake and I are very excited that we're going to be able to kind of monetize the podcast a little bit, monetize the show, and be able to put more back into it and hopefully give more to our viewers and to our audience. So that's something we're very excited about, is having the ability to put more into the show and potentially bring more to the show and more to the people that watch.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what kind of advertisements we get offered. That'll be interesting. Me and you were kind of talking about that a little bit today, but definitely be interesting to see who we can kind of attach ourselves to, you know.
This episode brought to you by Mountain Dew Baja Blast.
Oh my God, that would be big time. Thank you, Tim. Thank you, Isaac. Appreciate that, fellas. Oh man, I didn't know if I should have tears of joy. Oh, hey, we already talked about that. We also
Jake's on it. Yeah, Jake's getting there.
We also added something else. Actually, my girlfriend did yesterday when we were just eating dinner. So look forward to that. What is that Friday before? Is that the 9th?
Yes, that will be the 9th. That will be the first of the every single Friday Packer shows.
Look forward to seeing what's in there, man. It's gonna. Oh, that's beautiful. I might have to
have the blazer by then, man.
I might have to shave this all down and just go mustache.
Dude, do it.
Should I do it just one time?
One time. Do it. You got to do it. You can't not do it now.
I feel like, I was going to shave this anyways because I'm just getting sick and tired of it, honestly. And I can let it grow, whatever. but kind of like a clean slate. Packers are starting clean. I'll start clean, but I will try. I'll do just mustache.
Definitely just the mustache, dude.
Okay, this is an adult joke.
First weather report of 2022.
My girlfriend always says I look like a pedophile with just a mustache, so I gotta just try it just one time.
Tell her you're committing to Jake Burgundy for the podcast. That's what's more important.
I'll have the hair combed to the side and everything,
dude. It's gotta be done.
Weekend, we'll go searching hard for a blazer. I'll tell Chantel, my girlfriend. I'll tell her that is our goal this weekend, to find a burgundy blazer.
Thrift shopping for finding an Anchorman blazer.
Yes, we will go do that. Oh, that's gonna be lovely.
There's nothing more important over this coming weekend than you finding a blazer.
I will have it sitting right here, right next to me, so I can just whip that baby on. Oh, it's burgundy time, baby.
Drink some chocolate milk.
I was gonna put water in there, but yeah.
I knew you were gonna put coffee in there, so.
Hell no.
You should. Coffee's delicious.
I don't need to be up until 4 a.m. for no reason.
All right. Well, that's our exciting announcement. Jake and I are going to be able to work with Fansided a little bit to be able to make some money to put some more money back into the show. So we're very excited about that. Yes. So yeah, we are, like I said, very, very excited about it. You ready to jump into some Brewers games?
Yeah, let's talk about the games that people are whining about this week.
Yeah, well, which is most of them. All right, let's start with last
week.
We win. Yeah, right. Let's start with last week's Game 3 and Game 4 of that Dodgers series last week. Let's start with Game 3.
All right, I'll start this one. You start the next one. So, Brewers lost this one 2-1, but it was a very, very competitive game. Obviously, 2-1 is a good baseball game. It's a good old-fashioned game. Eric Lauer, I thought he was fantastic in this game. He had a couple walks, 3 walks, but other than those 3 walks, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 7 Ks. That's all stuff. That's high-level stuff. Eric Lauer, in my opinion, has been very, very good this year. Mm-hmm. Put a fork in the Brewers. Talk football. No, we talk all sports, John. We cover our teams till the very end. There's no fork. If they stay within striking distance, they still have 4 games against the Cardinals.
It ain't over till it's over.
It ain't over till it's over.
I got something on that later. So
until I hear they are mathematically eliminated, I will not stop talking about the Brewers. So, anyways, Suter came in, Streleski came in. They were both very, very good. 1 hit each, no earned runs, no walks, no Ks. So, they did their job. They got outs. Kesten Yelich with a 2-out RBI. I was big on the 2-out RBIs again this week. I wanted to pay attention. Yeah, he did very good. They were 1 for 3 with runners in scoring position, so a little bit better. Only 6 left on base. So, it's not like they had a lot of opportunities, but they did come through in one of their 3 opportunities. But it was just a pitcher's duel, man. Yep. Dodgers are a good team, and yep. I will say, I'm going to get this off my chest before we continue. The Brewers are one of those teams that play to the level of their competition, and it's pissing me off. I'm just going to get that out there right now. Like, they play down to the Cubs competition level. They play up to the Dodgers. Like, what? Just play baseball. They have all the tools that they need to win these games against anybody. They can compete with anybody. Mm-hmm. What game were they on? Was that Saturday when they were on national television? And the announcer said that, actually. He said, this team can compete. That was the game they lost to the Cubs 6-5. He said this team can compete with any team in Major League Baseball. They have the pitching. They can hit. They have everything they need. But for some reason, it's not all coming together. But still time. Do not give up. John, we're going to get you back on the train. Do not give up like John did.
I have some math on that.
I'm ready.
You want me to lay the math on you right now for the
lay it on now,
people?
Lay it on now so people can apply it now.
So let's wind the clock back to 2018, right?
Mm-hmm.
Actually, this is 2019. Sorry, 1 year closer even. Let's wind the clocks back to September 2019. Going into September, the Brewers are 4 games back of the Cubs in the NL Central. The Brewers work their way back from that 4-game deficit and force a game 163, win it, get into the playoffs. I'm just going to completely ignore Chelsea. Win that game 163, and they get into the playoffs. The Brewers right now are 5.5 games back of the Cardinals. That's before you even get to the fact that they're only a game and a half behind the Padres and 2.5 behind the Phillies.
No.
5.5 back of the Cardinals. The way I see it, if the Brewers can get within 1.5 games between today and next Wednesday, so they'd be 4 games back going into September, no reason the Brewers can't do what they did in 2019.
No reason at all.
Because it's not even one of those things where it's like, oh, well, they've never done it, so they probably won't. They have done it recently.
Yeah.
So there's no put a fork in the Brewers. They could easily still win the division, and they could very easily still get a wild card spot.
Yeah.
I see Jake's going to the comments section here.
Yeah, Cardinals do play the Braves this weekend.
Yeah, Cardinals, by the way. Yankees got the Gallo curse. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they got it bad. You know what?
The wind to me, right?
Yeah, the wind. Got the wind. Yeah, we'll talk about the wind in one of these games. Freaking annoying. Yeah. I'm glad Andrew brought up Joey Gallo, because I also had to bring up Joey Gallo, and it involves all of the constant complaining that I've been seeing about the Brewers failed the deadline because they didn't trade for a bat. Yes, I understand that was what the Brewers would have needed at the trade deadline. However, the 4 players that they were interested in, Joey Gallo, Andrew Benintendi, Brendan Drury, and Josh Bell, those 4 that they were interested in that did get traded, they were interested in Jock Peterson, Jay Happ, but those 2 didn't get traded. So of the 4 guys that they were interested in trading for, these are their batting averages. This is gross. Joey Gallo's batting 267.
Since being traded, right?
Since being traded.
Okay.
So this was going into Monday. I took these stats on Monday morning. Joey Gallo was batting 267. Andrew Benintendi was batting 211. Brendan Drury was batting 212. And Josh Bell is batting 138.
Yeah.
Yikes. This is so bad. So Joey Gallo is 8 for 30 with the Dodgers. Andrew Benintendi 16 for 76 with the Yankees. Brendan Drury 14 for 66 for Brendan Drury, and Josh Bell 9 for 65 with the Padres.
That is bad.
Gallo's hit 3 home runs. Benintendi's hit 1. Drury's hit 3. Josh Bell has hit 2 in that time.
I'm just going to tell you this. Keep going.
Okay, I got one more thing to bring up with this.
Yep.
Because listen to Kesten Hira's stats in August so far.
Uh-oh.
286 batting average. 8 for 28. This is going into Monday. 310 on base percentage. That's higher than Josh Bell still. Slugging percentage 821. That's higher than all 4. 8 for 28 batting average. 5 home runs, more than any of the other 4. So essentially, Kesten Hira is already giving the Brewers more than they would have gotten out of any of those 4 guys.
And we would have had to trade Hira.
We would have had to trade Hira and probably one of the top 4 outfielders.
Yeah.
Obviously, the Brewers weren't getting Juan Soto, so that was, that's not in the discussion of, they could have traded for this guy. It didn't, outside of playing the game of maybe if they were traded to Milwaukee instead of San Diego, LA, or New York, maybe they'd be better here. Outside of, something that really doesn't have any statistical backing like all of their stats do from after being traded, there is no guarantee that the Brewers trading for one of these 4 guys would have benefited them in any way at all. In fact, the stats show that Kesten Hira has been better than all 4 of them.
Well, first I'm going to say this. This is why we tell you to settle down, okay? Also, I'm going to flex a little bit. Oh, I can't. Can you put up Andrew's comment for me real quick, buddy? Yeah. Andrew, this is why we get deals with Fansided, my boy, because we got this shit down. No, not really. Thank you for the comment, though. It made me feel good. Tyler's always prepared, and he's always on my ass to be prepared, so that's why I'm prepared. So, Tyler, everybody just give all the congratulations to Tyler because he's the man. I just want to say, you talked about Josh Bell having 9 hits since going over to the Padres.
Yep.
Since our last episode, everybody's least favorite Brewer, Kristen Yelich, has 9 hits. And everybody's on that guy every
in the last
day.
week.
Yeah, he has 9 hits in the last week. So
that's awesome.
Just wanted to bring that up. Yeah.
Okay. Alrighty then. Yeah, I mean, I've seen so many of the we need to fire Craig Counsell and David Stearns for failing at the deadline, and obviously we know it's well documented that Josh Hader is not doing well in San Diego.
I heard a story about David Stearns today.
Do tell.
It's the most random story of all time. It has nothing to do with
I need to know it now.
Okay, so this guy I work with, he cuts grass on the side. That's like his side hustle. He just gets a couple $100 every couple of weeks and doing that.
Mm-hmm.
And he was telling a story how, because he lives down in Milwaukee, he had to go to David Stearns' house one day. Because I was talking about the podcast. He followed, by the way. And I was like, well, you run into David Stearns, you give him our podcast, buddy. But anyways, he said Stearns has like a little tiny section of grass, like 8 feet. Like tiny. That's it. That's all his grass. He pays somebody to come to his house and cut his grass. It costs like $200 for this company. And you have to pay for an hour block. So this guy shows up. He's like, yeah, I really just took my weed whacker because I wanted to spend the whole hour, because if I called my boss too soon, I was going to have to do something else. So he cuts David Stearns' grass with a weed whacker because it's only 8 foot of grass. And I was like, what? He was like, dude, Stearns, you could tell though when you talk to him, he's just got numbers flowing out of his ear holes because he looks at so many numbers. I was like, dude, he's like, to be a GM in baseball, like baseball is like one of those sports where it's so many stats. Yep. And then there's advanced stats on all these stats. Dude. So you gotta be ready to calculate all that shit, man.
Dude, and then you get into minor league baseball. David Stearns doesn't just have Major League Baseball to worry about.
Right.
There's AAA, AA, single A, rookie ball. There's 2 leagues in Arizona that are going on.
Yeah.
Like, that's hundreds of players in the organization.
Yeah.
To all worry about.
You got to think about the contracts and all their slashes, their slugging percentage, on-base percentage, average. Like, you got to think about all this stuff all the time.
Granted, Stearns isn't doing that all on his own. Like, obviously, they have player development people and stuff like that. But, it's not the NFL where you got 90 guys to worry about.
Right, and that's only for a little bit of time.
And, it's not like NBA where you have 18 guys on your roster and then you got 18 guys in the D League or G League.
Yeah, whatever. I liked it better when it was D League, but
yeah. So yeah, we should have traded for bats at the deadline.
Mm-hmm.
The bats that got traded that the Brewers were in on, they're not doing so hot. So there's no guarantee that any of the trades that the Brewers would have made would put them in a better position than they are now.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, they'd probably be worse because Kesten Hira is doing better than them.
I agree. Only thing holding Hira back is Counsell right now, which I think he heard the noise, and I think he's going to be in the lineup for the next couple of days.
I was happy to see Kesten Hira hit a home run against a left-handed pitcher the other day.
Mm-hmm.
That was better. That was better for Kesten Hira to get that done. It's going to come down to if he can keep hitting left-handed pitching. Yeah, I mean, you just ask your neighbor kid to do that for $20 at that point.
Man, that's what I'm saying, bro. This is a grown-ass man walking up just... But he said Stearns is the nicest guy ever. I was like, I believe that. He looks like a nice guy.
All right. So let's go back to Game 3. The other thing that you didn't mention that I want to mention is that Tony Gonsolin is a very good pitcher.
Yeah.
He's going to be a Cy Young candidate. If not the winner. Obviously, the Brewers saw him again last night. I will say this game probably had the play of the week, I will say. Colton Wong and Willie Adames hooked up on a really sweet double play. Colton Wong had a ball going in between second base and shortstop. He stopped it. He flipped it over to Willie Adames. Willie took 2 steps, stepped on second base, did a jump throw over to first to finish the double play. Ooh, that was sweet.
He did the Jordan logo right over a guy and threw a guy out. That was fire.
And then to end the 5th inning, they got a strike him out, throw him out double play. Mario Feliciano threw a guy out at second base to end that. Mario Feliciano got his first career hit in this game.
Yep.
And then, like Jake said, Suter and Strzelecki scoreless innings. The Brewers just didn't have very many opportunities in this game, like Jake said. So, you got anything else for Game 3?
Nope. Just the old-fashioned baseball game.
Yep. Game 4 was a little better. Obviously, it's good to win, but Corbin Burns was really good through 5 2/3 innings. He really just got hurt by the 2-out triple by Gavin Lux. It was so close to being a robbed home run. Tyrone Taylor had it in his glove. Just the impact of the wall knocked the ball out of his glove. Yeah, that's right. Andrew's in Hawaii. That's right. Cole DeLong representing for Hawaii.
I'm jealous, Andrew.
I mean, he's there for work, so I mean.
Still, though, when he's done with work, he gets to relax in Hawaii. I mean, come on. Every once in a while, I'd like to relax in Hawaii after work.
Yeah, especially once it gets to like January, February, March.
Yeah, for real.
Yep, we get into the dog
I get
days
sick of
of
relaxing in my
season.
house.
All right, so Andrew McCutchen hit a home run in the first inning. Corbin Burns basically breaking out the entire arsenal, using cutters, changeups, curveballs, sliders. He's throwing everything. Andrew McCutchen hit another home run in the third. That's his first multi-home run game as a Brewer.
Yes, sir.
Then his third at-bat, he reached on a strikeout, and Hunter Renfroe hit a freaking home run to the moon.
Yeah, he crushed that baseball. That was his second hardest hit home run this week, though. Crazy to think about.
I believe it, based on the one that he hit in Chicago.
Yeah, dude, he murdered that ball.
Dude, you can see the smile on his face when he hit it, too.
He knew he got all of it. That's why.
Yeah, he did. So what makes that potentially, an even more important play is that Andrew McCutchen would have been the third out of that inning.
Yep.
And then Renfroe followed that up with a 2-run home run. So that could have sent, that essentially is the difference in the game. Brewers won this game by 2 runs. So Boxberger came in to finish the 6th inning. He struck out Taylor to end the 6th. Taylor Rogers got a 1-2-3 7th. That was very important for Taylor Rogers to build some momentum. Matt Bush, another scoreless inning in the 8th. And then Devin Williams did a great job in the 9th inning, getting 3 swinging strikeouts. Andrew McCutchen had 2 hits. Hunter Renfroe had 3. Brewers struck out 14 times as a team, though, which is a little concerning. That's something that they can improve. I'll come back to that later. But they did earn a split with the best team in baseball. And Corbin Burns, outside of the 3 earned runs, 2 of which were very close to being an out, and he would have gotten through potentially 6 innings with only 1 earned run. Still pretty pleased with that game overall. I don't know what you got from Game 4.
Only thing to add, you brought up how many times the Brewers struck out, which is a big number. The Brewers struck out the Dodgers 15 times. So, I mean, that's something to worry about, too.
Only 6 of those were Burns. So that means,
I know.
So through, 3 1/3 innings, the Brewers struck out the Dodgers 9 times?
Yeah, 3 of them to Williams, 1 to Bush, 1 to Rogers, and 1 to Boxberger. So
that'll do.
Yeah. And also mentioned that McCutchen's 3 RBIs and Renfroe's 2 RBIs were all 2-out RBIs. So Brewers coming in clutch at the end of innings. You brought up how McCutchen would have been the 3rd out, so obviously Renfroe's. But McCutchen's other 2 RBIs were also with 2 outs. So good to see them get some clutch hits against a really good team, which is what makes us Brewers fans believe that they can hang with anybody in the league. Because if they're hanging with the Dodgers, they can hang with anybody. They're the best team in baseball.
Yep. That is 100% true. All right, let's go to this annoying Cubs series. That's really how I felt about it. It was just an annoying series.
I don't want to talk about this one at all.
This is such a dumb game because it's like the wind is so crazy. It's just like that any ball that gets hit up in the air is going to fly up.
Yeah.
Like it worked for the Brewers a couple times, but it also worked for the Cubs. It was just ended up being really annoying. Andrew McCutchen stayed hot, hit his 3rd home run in 2 days.
Yep.
Rowdy, Hunter Renfroe both hit home runs to keep up with their day game dominance. Hunter Renfroe dented the scoreboard, so he'll always have that, even though the Brewers didn't win this game.
Yeah.
Ashby did pitch better than his final line. I will say that. He pitched 5 innings. He gave up 8 hits, 6 earned runs. He didn't walk anybody, and he struck out 8. So that's what I'm taking away more from here is that Ashby was actually pretty under control when it comes to his pitching. The 8 strikeouts and the no walks. That's the important takeaway on this one for me.
I agree.
Hobie Milner gave up 2 runs. Like, dude, nobody's perfect. Hobie Milner's been so damn good for the Brewers this year. Exceeded all expectations we could have had for him.
Yep.
Like, it happens. Everybody gets got once in a while.
Yes, sir.
Obviously, we know what happened last night. So, Strzelecki, Boxberger both pitched a scoreless inning, and all 3 relievers had 2 strikeouts each. I don't know what else you want to say about that game.
Kind of something that I said a couple weeks ago. It was nice to see a bunch of people getting RBIs. I mean, McCutchen, Yelich, Renfroe, Adames, Tellez. I mean, Renfroe and McCutchen, multiple RBIs each. So they only left 5 on base, and in a game where they scored 7 runs, you know, a team that doesn't score that many runs normally, it hurts to lose this one, but it is what it is, man. What really made it hurt was the next day, the next game, which
go ahead. It sucks that they lost, but like I also want to give some respect because Marcus Stroman is a baller. Dude's a baller. Yeah, and he's like he's like a genuine dude too. Like I feel like I'd enjoy hanging out with Marcus Stroman. Like he just seems like a cool dude.
Yeah,
I was really bummed when he signed with the Cubs. I'm like, why?
Yeah,
why?
You could have went anywhere else. Could have went almost anywhere else.
Just avoid the Yankees.
Avoid the Yankees, Dodgers, and Cubs, and you're good in my book. I don't even hate the Cardinals.
I would have been annoyed if you had been on the Cardinals, but
me too. I mean, I would be annoyed because they're always good, like I always say. But I don't hate them. Like I don't hate them like I hate the Cubs. You know. All right. So this next game, Brewers lost 6-5. This was my god. I was watching this game. This was the game that was on Fox. I believe it was on Fox. Or no, it was FS1. So Fox Sports 1. Peralta started this game. 6 innings. 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 3 walks again. 5 Ks. Suter had an inning, hit, no earned runs, 2 Ks. So Brent Suter, sorry. The Raptor, whatever you want to call him. Bush, 1 inning, absolutely nothing except Ks. He was really, really good on this day. He was fantastic on Saturday. Williams, I don't know, man. Who the hell was up to bat? Oh, it was Patrick Wisdom. And the first 2 pitches of the at-bat, I remember this. He had Wisdom looking just straight up silly. And I was like, okay, he's down 0-2. We got 2 outs. Like, let's finish this off, right? Like, you knew he was coming with changeup. You knew he was going to come with changeup, maybe a fastball here and there. And he just kept missing his spots. And Wisdom, I'm going to give him credit. He had a really great at-bat. He forced to get walked in that at-bat. Williams just lost his touch. What did he throw? He ended up throwing like 35 pitches or something, 36 pitches.
35, 37, somewhere in there.
Yeah, he threw a lot of pitches. He gave up the tying run. That sucked.
Dude, that's such a dumb hit, too. Like, Williams made a really good pitch. The dude, like, hit it like an inch above his knuckles where he's holding the bat, and it gets over Colton Wong's head by 6 inches.
Who
I saw people complaining about.
Yeah, I was like, dude, Colton Wong did everything he could. He read it right away. He jumped. Like, he can't.
It's like same with Devin Williams. Like, yeah, he walked a couple of guys, but what do you do with that? It's not like he gave up a walk-off home run. Like, he gave up a little bloop hit.
Yeah.
Like, that's baseball. There's nothing you can do about that. Like, Devin Williams made a good pitch on that pitch.
Yeah, that was just – it's that saying that you always come back to. Where you say good offense beats good defense. That's exactly what that was.
That's fair.
It sucked. It was a shitty game. I do want to point out that if Willy Adames's home run in the bottom of the 8th would have been a game-winning homer, would have been his 69th RBI, which would have been legendary. Just wanted to point that out.
Just stop the count.
Yep, stop it right there. If Devin Williams would have came through, we would have a legendary laugh about that. Brissot, I want to give credit to Brissot. He came through. He got a hit that gave us the lead, but then obviously the Brewers ended up losing. But that's a big-time spot for him to just walk up there and get that hit. I understand that the guy starts on second base. That doesn't change anything. We've seen the Brewers ground into double play after double play all year and not get no runs with a guy on second and no outs, right? So Brosseau, I want to give him a little bit of credit. Yeah, this game hurt. I'm not gonna lie. This game fucking hurt to watch, man.
All right, so the Brewers had 3 1-run leads. They just couldn't get out of it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say I feel bad for Christian Yelich. Like, I feel really bad for him. Like, watching his post-game interviews was gutty. Like, you can just see the disappointment that he had in himself from dropping that ball.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Cubs fans are hateable because of Cubs fans.
It's just like the Cowboys.
See, I don't like the Cardinals, but I respect the Cardinals.
Yep.
I will say, like I've said this before, like I have never come across a pleasant Chicago fan. It is yet to happen. Whether it be, I should say one. I know one Bulls fan that I can get along with, as long as we're talking about basketball.
If you switch to
football, then it gets a little dicey.
Is it who I think it is?
Yeah,
Do
probably.
I know this guy?
Yeah. Other than that, like they're hard to find.
Yeah.
Well, and I guess like one guy we know that like Steve came on the show. He's all right for a Bears fan.
I like Steve. He talks just a little bit of ish, but like it's only because we're friends, you know, like we're on that level. Yeah. Like that's why I feel like
he admits when his teams get got. He knows. Yep. All right, so back on to Christian Yelich. So watching his post-game interviews, you can see that he is clearly like very upset with himself.
Mm-hmm.
Now, first things first, that is the first error that Christian Yelich has committed this season. Yeah. Literally his first error. Now, we don't have a super strong influence as fans. You know, Jake and I are hoping to be able to grow our influence, and that's obviously something that we're trying to do. But imagine a scenario or a situation where instead of being like Yelich cost us the game, Yelich sucks, you know, all that shit, if instead we were supportive of the players on our team. Because whether Yelich cost us the game or not, whether you view it that way or you don't, tomorrow Christian Yelich is still putting on a Milwaukee Brewers jersey.
Yep.
Whether you like Aaron Rodgers off the field or not, tomorrow he's still putting on a Green Bay Packers jersey. I mean, tomorrow he'll probably be wearing a hoodie and some sweatpants, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So, you know, like Grayson Allen is another example. I understand not liking Grayson Allen. I'm a Badgers fan. I know why people don't like Grayson Allen. But tomorrow, he is putting on a Milwaukee Bucks jersey. You want these players to succeed. I don't understand the bashing of players that are on your team. This guy's playing for the team you want to win. Throw him a hey, get him tomorrow instead of a you suck. Imagine how much better of a world we would live in if we all did that to each other all the time.
I mean, here's the angle I'm going to take from it. So imagine a guy starting new at your job, right? And you don't want to just your job has been trying to hire people for a long time, so you've been working a lot of overtime. When you get a new guy in there, you're not just going to be like, oh, hey, thanks for fucking that up. You know, you're going to be like, hey, this is how we do it. You know, you positive reinforcement is how you get people to stay, how you get people to improve. So just because these guys are professional athletes, they are still human. They make mistakes. I'm going to say on the case of Aaron Rodgers, the reason that people don't like them, get the fuck over yourself. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to be harsh and I'm going to be real about it. I'm not going to hide my feelings about that. I don't care what he does off the field. I am not here to manage that, okay?
Yeah.
As soon as he puts that yellow helmet on, that is my fucking guy. That's my dude, okay? I love Aaron Rodgers. I have an Aaron Rodgers head. Aaron Rodgers. I have Aaron Rodgers everywhere. That's my boy. You know, that's my boy.
I got him. I got him right there.
Hey, Rodgers is the man. I have a bunch of stuff over there. I don't even have room for over here. You know, Grayson Allen, get over it. Grayson Allen is a good basketball player for the contract that we signed him for. Yeah, it was a long time ago too. Grayson Allen can defend. Grayson Allen can shoot. Grayson Allen can be a playmaker. Grayson Allen basically just does whatever the hell you need, not at an elite level, but at a good enough level where he's a starter in the NBA. Kesten Yelich is a good baseball player. No, he's not MVP. He's not MVP anymore. Okay, that's okay. It happens.
You know what he is though?
What is he?
He's the best leadoff hitter in baseball.
You think so? Really?
It's statistically true.
Well, we're gonna go with that. He's the best leadoff hitter in baseball. But I also think that Kesten, for all the reasons that people want to hate Aaron Rodgers, you can like Kesten Yelich. He's a good guy off the field. I will say that. Kind of like it, not to the level of Giannis, because who the hell, even rival fans like Giannis. But Kesten Yelich is a very, very nice guy. He's a good person off the field. And he made one mistake. And
literally his first.
I was not going to bring it up because I did not want to talk about it. But all the shit that I read, dude, I was like, I am so disappointed in the fans of my team.
Yep.
So disappointed.
It is. That's how it feels. It feels disappointing that, like I said, tomorrow this guy's gonna come to work and he's going to put on a jersey for the team that you want to succeed. Like, do you think that these guys would want to perform better for people who are just saying that they suck, or for people that would cheer them on and say, hey, keep your chin up, get them tomorrow?
Yeah.
Now listen to this. Let me take this a step further.
Oh, I think I know where you're going.
Now imagine what perception you are sending to impending free agents who would consider signing for a Milwaukee Brewers, the Milwaukee Bucks, or the Green Bay Packers. The Green Bay Packers have a very good reputation of being some of the best fans in football. But when you get to scenarios where on social media, all people say is just saying F Kesten Yelich and fire the manager and fire the coach and fire the general manager and fire this guy and fire that guy and trade him and trade everybody but Giannis all the time, who the hell is going to want to sign in Milwaukee?
You know what?
Bobby Portis is one of the guys who has kind of rejuvenated that the Milwaukee having a great fan base. The Brewers don't have that right now, in my opinion.
No, they do not. You almost went exactly to the area I thought you were going to go. I thought you were going to go with, and you brought it up with Bobby Portis. Why would people want to be loyal? Like, people get mad at sports, individuals all the time. Listen, man, I love the Packers, but if I played another sport and I had an opportunity to make $20 million and live in fucking Miami, I'm living in Miami for a few years. Okay, get over yourselves. Really, what it is people are jealous that they can't do that with their lives.
Oh yeah.
So why would people want to stay loyal to a team where every time they make a mistake, it's like, oh, get rid of this guy, don't like him no more. Like,
DFA him. If I had $1 for every time I saw a DFA Yelich, I'd be buying myself a new laptop for the show. Like,
that's a lot of money, actually.
That's a lot of people whining about saying DFA Yelich. Like,
it's ridiculous.
Like I said, tomorrow he's going to come to play for your team. He's going to come play for the team that you want to succeed and you want to win.
Well,
so
not tomorrow. Tonight he will, because they have off tomorrow. But I get your point.
Tomorrow from the day that he made the mistake, which would have been Sunday.
So he did play that day. That's true.
He did play that day. So let's go to Sunday's game.
Okay. You want me to start?
Yep.
All right. Brewers played the Cubs again. Got a win. Thank God. Imagine how exhausting it would have been if we got swept. Yes. But Woody pitched in this game 5 2/3, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, which is I just expect a lot out of Woody and Burns. So when I see 2 walks, I'm kind of like, maybe they didn't have the best stuff. 5 Ks. Suter was clean again. Suter has been fantastic for a long time now. Boxberger, again, fantastic. And Rogers was, again, fantastic. 1 hit between Suter, Boxberger, and Rogers, and they pitched 3 1/3 innings. That's good stuff. That's the bullpen that we all expect from the Brewers. Adames, Tellez, and Hira, all with RBIs. Hira and Tellez, all 2-out RBIs. They both also had homers. Here I had 2 homers. 3 left on base, 0 for 3 runners in scoring position, which it is what it is. But Brewers got the win. So at the end of the day, they played well. They left Chicago with a win, gained a little bit of confidence going into the matchup with the Dodgers.
So the Happ first inning home run was really the only blemish that Brendan Woodruff had until he got to the 4th inning. The only 2 runs that he gave up were 2 solo shots, just like Eric Lauer last Wednesday against the Dodgers. He pitched 30-plus pitches in the first inning. I don't remember exactly how many it was. It was like 32 or 35, I think.
I think you said 35 when you texted me.
Okay, 35 pitches in the first inning, and he still went 5 2/3 innings. That's kind of impressive, honestly.
Yeah.
The Brewers did score 5 unanswered runs after that. The Brewers, they kind of struggled against the opening starter, the left-hander Steele. They jumped on the relief pitchers. They scored on all of Chicago's relievers on Sunday. Again, they struck out 12 times. They need to lower that number. 10 base runners, only 3 stranded, like Jake said. Kesten here had the 2 home run day. And then Taylor Rogers. So Jake brought him up that he got to save. It's big for him to have another good outing. And that was his first save as a Brewer. So my hope is that Taylor Rogers has started to build some momentum, and he can start being the pitcher that his numbers suggest that he's capable of being. If we get into a scenario where Taylor Rogers finishes the season better than Josh Hader, we got to get into David Stearns has a time machine discussions.
You want me to add some spice on that?
Put some spice on it.
If we get into a situation where Rodgers is better than Hader and the Brewers make the wild card over the Padres, I'm getting on everybody's ass. I'm on everybody's ass. I'm telling you right now.
Dude, the Padres traded for Josh Hader, Josh Bell, Juan Soto, and Brendan Drury, and are a game and a half away from being out of the playoffs.
Brewers can easily catch them, in my opinion. The way that they're playing.
I mean, the Brewers could catch them by the end of the week, the way the Padres are playing.
Yeah. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to look up the Padres schedule because I want to see.
All right. So, like I said, it's good to see Taylor Rogers building some momentum.
They're down 6-0 right now. Yes, to the Guardians. Right now, they are down 6-0 in the 5th. Yes. Yeah, bro. Let it happen. I'm on everybody's ass.
Man. Oh my God. 6-0 already.
Okay.
Yikes.
So, do you want me to tell the schedule?
Sure. I ran through the Brewers. The Brewers gets pretty easy, so.
I mean, they play Kansas City next, which is pretty simple, but the way they're playing. Right. Then they play San Francisco at Kansas City, at San Francisco, so on the road. Then they go at LA. Then they play Tatis P. Yeah, it did not help that at all.
Yeah.
Then they play 3 versus Arizona. They play the Dodgers for 3 more. They play at Seattle. They play at Arizona. Then they play 3 versus the Cardinals. I don't know who the hell to cheer for in that situation. Then they play at Colorado. They play 3 more against the Dodgers. So they have 9 games against the Dodgers. Where the Brewers, after tonight, will be playing the Dodgers no more. And we'll have 4 games against the Cardinals left, which is basically our toughest games. I mean, we have the Yankees too, but the Yankees have been really bad lately.
Yeah. I mean, the Brewers have Diamondbacks coming. They have a bunch of series against the Reds. Like, they play the Pirates. They play the Cubs again.
So if they can get out of their funk against those fucking teams and start mashing some baseballs and striking some people out, the Brewers can still easily make the playoffs. So all the people giving up, I changed my mind. Do not jump back on the boat, okay? Because I'm kicking your ass off. And I'm going to talk some shit on the way down, too. So
you should have stayed on the boat with us, is what it should have been. Should have stayed on the boat with us.
Yes,
the Brewers have a good homestand coming. So let's go to Monday night's game. The Dodgers have lost coming into Monday 4 of their last 21 games. The Brewers are 3 of them.
Yep.
So for the first time, if Christopher's watching, he would love this stat. Andrew's a good stat guy. He likes that we come with stats. This was the first time the Dodgers were shut out at home this season.
Yeah, dude.
The Dodgers hadn't been shut out at home since August 29th, 2021. They went almost a calendar year without being shut out at home.
Yep.
And the Brewers came and did it to them.
It was also the 7th shutout for the year for the Brewers, first since July 3rd at Pittsburgh.
Boom. Stats. Hashtag stats.
Yep. Let's get it.
All right. So Lauer getting Freddie Freeman to strike out at the end of the 5th inning was huge. He pitched 5 innings, only gave up 5 hits, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, no runs.
Yes, sir.
It's a weird situation, a weird dynamic here where Eric Lauer, throughout his career, even as a Padre, has always been very good against the Dodgers, and Corbin Burnes is the opposite. Corbin Burnes, he just doesn't pitch well against the Dodgers for some reason. So it kind of stayed true last night, but, it is what it is. So Strzelecki actually had a really good fastball slider combo going, I thought. Strzelecki was kind of reminding me of Jake Cousins a little bit, the way that he worked his fastball and his slider together. Hobie Milner, Matt Bush, scoreless 7th and 8th, took a 1-0 lead into the 9th, and then Adames and Yelich both had doubles and then 2 sac flies. Kesten Hero was down 0-2, worked back to a 2-2 count, and then launched a home run.
And he admired that son of a bitch, too.
Jason Alexander pitched a scoreless 9th inning. Now, we just mentioned Kesten Hero's home run. Do you know who was there?
Who was there?
Kesten Hero's mom.
Yeah, that is... I did hear about that, actually. That is a fantastic story.
We talked about Kesten Hero's struggles last summer so frequently, where he was sent down to AAA because he was struggling, so they sent him down to AAA so he'd have a chance to go see his mom, who was dealing with cancer all last year. His mom was in the stands for that game on Monday against the Dodgers, and Kesten Hero's mom got to see him hit a home run.
That is that is one of the moments why we love sports. Seriously. One of the reasons why we love sports. That's a beautiful moment. I'm sure Hero, that's something that he'll remember for a long time, man.
I guarantee you he will.
Yeah.
So that was really cool. I had to throw that into my notes.
Believing the Brewers doing anything in the playoffs this year, even if they do end up making it, though the wild card, it's been a tough few weeks. Well, here's the thing, man. Kind of like basketball. Hey, what up, Simon? How you doing? You get a chance to play a bunch of games, man. So even if you lose one, you still get a chance to go out there and win two in a row. The Brewers with this pitching staff, they're never out of anything. Obviously, you look at what they're doing against the Dodgers. I mean, they've given them 3 of their 4 losses of the month, which is insane. Obviously, we got pounded last night, but imagine the playoffs, we get pounded and then we come back and we shut them out. What are you going to think then? Oh shit,
that's a run differential situation. If the Brewers win today and win this series, even if the Brewers win, say 3-2, and the Brewers leave having only scored 8 runs, and the Dodgers score, let's see, that would be 12. Like, I'll take that. Like, you can score more runs if you do it all in one game. The Brewers still take the series. I'll take that every single time.
Yeah, 100%. If the Brewers go to win and the Padres lose,
yikes.
Oh, I'm going to be on everybody's ass, bro. I can't wait. Now I want it to happen. It's like shit.
Man, I mean, like I said, Burnes, he's just struggled in his career against the Dodgers. It's just one of those weird things that's just a team that he doesn't pitch well against. Lauer is the exact opposite. Lauer has like a 2.30 ERA against the Dodgers in his career.
And Woody's pretty good against them, isn't he?
I'm not sure because Woody pitched against the Cubs, so I didn't really look at it. I will say, as far as the pitching staff is concerned, Adrian Hauser is coming back for tonight's game. Ashby's on the 15-day injured list, but Adrian Hauser is back tonight. And I will say, I didn't mention this when we talked about Saturday's game, but Freddie Peralta is starting to look more like himself every outing that he goes.
Yeah, he is.
Andrew said playoffs is an accomplishment in and of itself in baseball. It's not like NBA where half the league makes it. I mean, baseball expanded a little bit this year. They added one more wild card team. But, it's still – the Brewers have been in the playoffs for 4 consecutive years. And obviously, when you go through that, Dodgers were 15-1 in August until they got to the Brewers. You go through that where you consistently make the playoffs. The next thing that fans want is the championship. That's just the natural progression, and I get it. We talked about it at the beginning of the year. We believe the Brewers to be World Series contenders because their pitching was so good. It got kind of rough when Freddie Peralta went down in May, and he was out for all of June, all of July, and a little bit of August. But the Brewers do still have enough to contend. I'm not saying the Brewers, they have everything they need to go and win, but all you need is a chance. We saw it. We lost to the Nationals in 2019, the season that I brought up when I talked about it before about just getting into the playoffs. The Nationals were a wild card team in 2019. They went and won the World Series.
Yeah.
All you need is a ticket to the show. That's all you need to have a chance to win.
Yeah, and you never know in those moments. Like, you never know who's going to step up. The pressure might be a good thing for this team, honestly. I think they have the kind of character and the kind of clubhouse to be able to fight through tough times. Who knows? Like I said before, who knows if Willy Adames just turns into freaking Hank Aaron and starts mashing the baseball everywhere,
he needs
in October.
He needs 6 home runs to break the shortstop record for the Brewers home runs.
Yeah, I agree with what Matt said. He said just keep putting Hira in the lineup, and we might actually have a shot. Yeah, Hira is instant offense. Throw him in that DH spot, and let's call it.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, you put Hira at the DH, and put Andrew McCutchen in center field.
Yep,
that's where I'm at right now.
Yep,
it'll be interesting to see. Go ahead.
Sorry. Obviously, you're gonna have to see how McCutchen feels. He's a little bit older. He's getting up there in age. See if he can handle that every day kind of thing. But if it is go time, then it is go time. So you tell him, like, hey, Kutch, it's go time. Like, let's do this thing. We'll give you an off day every couple of days here. I mean, being at home, that long homestand, like was brought up before, will be really good because you're gonna sleep in your own bed, be around your family. So that'll be a good time to test that out. In my opinion.
So, Andrew, you brought up a good point, and you brought up the Brewers in the 90s. So it was a long time before the Brewers went to the playoffs. They got there in 2008. They got there in 2011. When I brought up earlier about the players that were available at the deadline, so, the Benintendi, Gallo, Bell, and Drury, those guys are the Brewers were interested in. Now, I had this discussion with somebody on Facebook who was like, the Brewers didn't do anything at the trade deadline. You think they succeeded? I'm like, well, it looks like they've at the very least, dodged a couple bullets. We don't know what Gosser's going to bring yet as far as, the return that they got. Gosser looks like a freaking stud so far in Double-A Biloxi. He looks like a stud. Yelich is fast. He just doesn't really – he obviously doesn't have the arm. That's why they moved him out of right field. I don't know what really benefits you by moving Yelich into center and playing McCutchen in left. You might as well just play McCutchen in center field and leave Yelich where he's at.
Because McCutchen has plenty of wheels to play center.
Yeah. I just saw somebody complain about him stealing bases the other day, too. It's like he's actually a pretty decent base stealer, even at 35.
People that's all I got to say.
Okay. Anyways, back to the complaining. So it was, the Brewers still could have made a trade to inject some energy into the locker room. Look what CC Sabathia did in 2011. I'm like, who in the hell was available that was on the level that CC Sabathia was in 2011? Like, Juan Soto, that's it. And the Brewers were not getting Juan Soto.
Yeah.
Now, let me also put this to you. The Brewers did not make the playoffs for 7 freaking years after they traded for CC. It took 7 years to get back to the playoffs after trading for CC Sabathia. So, yeah, while the Brewers might miss the playoffs this year, they might limp into the playoff this year, I'd also rather miss the playoffs just this year than to have to wait another 7 to get in.
I 100% agree.
If that's the case, as far as resting McCutchen in a corner outfield spot, I think if they wanted Kesten if they wanted Kesten and McCutchen in the lineup that same day, that could be a day where Kesten Hero just plays first base that day and Andrew McCutchen DHs. Or if you're really in a position where you want Kesten Hero in the lineup, say you have Corbin Burns or Brandon Woodruff or Freddie Peralta pitching, guys that get a lot of strikeouts and not a ton of contact always. You could, in a vacuum, play Kesten here at left field because he's done it a little bit. Not much, but a really little bit. Or second base. So there's other ways. If you need to rest McCutchen, you can use him at the DH and just give somebody else a day off, whether it be Rowdy Tellez or Colton Long or even Christian Yelich. And Matt, that's kind of how I feel. Not necessarily Tyrone Taylor or Jonathan Davis in the lineup. They've had their moments, but it's not consistent enough. Or getting to a point where I would take a shot on, we're going to probably talk about this next Wednesday, but whoever ends up being a September call-up, right now I'm kind of looking at Bryce Terang because with Mike Brasso going onto the injured list, Bryce Terang can play third base, shortstop, second base, and center field. So while the buzz is about Esteri Ruiz, Sal Frelick, Garrett Mitchell, and Joey Weimer, while those four are the ones that everybody's got their eyes on, don't lose sight of Bryce Terang. He's potentially the Brewers starting second baseman next year. But he's got the positional versatility to play second, shortstop, third base, and center field. So when it comes to next Thursday and September call-ups and the roster expands by 2, I'm really looking at Bryce Terang. If Mike Brasso isn't ready to come off the injured list, that Bryce Terang might be the guy that gets called up and gets a shot to play in center field instead of Tyrone Taylor and Jonathan Davis.
Definitely some interesting moves. Stearns has some work to do. We'll see what he does. I trust him.
I do too. Yeah, and it's still in Stearns we trust.
Who knows?
We don't really know. But I'm willing to risk it. Like, we know what Jonathan Davis and Tyrone Taylor are going to do. So why not find out?
That's exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah, why not find 100%.
Out? That's what I was going to say. We already know what we're getting. So doesn't hurt.
Yeah. All right, let's run through last night's game. We got to do it.
All right. Last night's game sucked. Corbin Burnes went 3 1/3, 6 hits, 7 earned runs, 2 walks, only 3 Ks. Suter, 2 hits, no earned runs. Kelly had a good outing, 2 innings, 2 hits, no earned runs, 2 Ks. Carantini pitched. I'm not going to talk about Carantini pitching because he's a catcher. So
no point in talking about it. Yep.
Davis got an RBI in the 5th. The game was already 7-0 at that point, so it didn't really fucking matter. Point out that Christian Yelich played pretty good. He was 2 for 4 yesterday. So
yep.
I am going to be petty, and I'm always going to point out how Yelich plays because people are complaining about him again. He was 2 for 4 yesterday. He was our best hitter, most consistent hitter yesterday.
Brewers had 4 hits. Christian Yelich had half of them.
Yep. That's all I need to say about that.
Yeah, and I've hammered on this like 3 or 4 times already, but Corbin Burnes in his career has struggled against the Dodgers. It's just a fact. Kind of a sucky one, but it is what it is. The Padres, they lost last night too, and as Jake already brought up, they're already losing today. So the Brewers already have a chance to be within a half a game of the last wild card spot of a team that traded for Josh Hader and Juan Soto at the trade deadline. Oh man. 3 up, 3 down in the 9th. I mean, when you're down by 9 runs, like, how much mental energy are you really putting into it?
Yeah.
I'm not really that concerned about it. At that point, it gets more like, you focus on the next one because you got to play again tomorrow.
I'll say this.
Burns has talked about it a bunch of times. Like, baseball players don't have the luxury of not focusing on the next day. You got to focus on the next day because you got to try to win tomorrow.
Yep. If Carantini would have got 3 strikeouts, I would have talked about it then.
Mike Brasso has usually been that guy when they need a position player to pitch.
Yeah. He did that twice this year, I think, right?
Yeah, they didn't have him. Yeah. Jace Peterson's getting close to returning. He's been doing some batting and some running. They don't have a timeline for him yet, but he's getting close. I'm really, 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 really hoping that Jake Cousins can come back soon. I miss Jake Cousins.
So do I.
Don't know what's going to happen with Justin Topa, and then Trevor Rosenthal has just started rehabbing. So we'll see what comes about with those guys as far as helping the bullpen. I got to say, though, like Jake mentioned, Brent Suter, he pitched very well this last week. He deserves some credit. It's good to see Trevor Kelly obviously pitch some scoreless innings too. That is what did it. Yeah, I mean, we didn't have Mike Brasso to come in and pitch the 8th and keep that at a 7-1 game.
Yeah.
What it does though, Caratini pitching an inning, what it does is it potentially saves a reliever for tonight's game. So while it looks really unimportant in a box score, and it's a position player that gave up 3 runs, it saves a guy for tonight. It saves Boxberger from having to pitch 2 days in a row, or Milner from having to pitch 2 days in a row. So, if it helps even that, it's worth it. Let's get into our power pair. I'm interested to see who you have, because I feel like there's either a chance where we're going to have 2 different guys or both of the same.
Wow. As much as I talked about him, you know who my hitter is, right?
I think it's got to be Christian Yelich.
Yeah, it's Yelich. 9 for 25 this week, which is pretty damn good. It's a 360 batting average. 5 runs, 3 RBIs, and 2 walks. So, I mean, the guy, again, gets on base. He scores runs. I don't know what more you want from him. He had the 1 error.
We're literally a week removed of saying, like, people saying that he should be batting 6th, 7th, or 8th. Literally just a week ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, Andrew, that is totally a chess move. That is totally a chess move, is by putting a position player to pitch the 9th in a game you're down 7-1. That is definitely a chess move.
I know you're being sarcastic over there, Hawaii boy.
But it's true.
But it is true.
Aha! Sarcasm backfire.
Who's your guy, buddy? Who you got?
I went with Kesten Hero.
That's why I didn't pick Hero.
I was really proud of Kesten Hero to be able to hit a home run in front of his mom after we spent so much time reminding people last year that Kesten Hero was kind of the poster child for athletes are humans.
Yep.
So that was a really cool thing. Kesten Hero 5 for 19 in the last week. It's not the best batting average, but still better than all the guys that I mentioned that the Brewers could have traded for in August. Drew 2 walks, hit 3 home runs. He was crucial to winning Game 3 in Chicago. And he's actually played pretty decent defense at first base.
Yeah.
So I want to give him a little bit of credit for that as well. Yeah, Andrew, that didn't go the way you thought it was when you made a sarcastic comment.
I'm really proud of Hero, man.
That was really cool.
All the struggles that he's had. I mean, last year was a tough year. For him to just come back and just continue to rake this year. For a while there, when he was just killing in AAA, I was just like, why are we not? Hey, and Matt was here and we talked about Gold Glove Kesten Hero. So thank you for bringing that up. I'm really happy that he's hitting again. That makes me happy. That's like that's one of those moments where I'm like, yeah, he the noise and he's 6'6".
He's really, really close to being the player we want him to. It's really just going to come down to consistency with him. He's really, really close to being the guy we want him to be as far as power hitting, potentially being able to play some first base. I mean, even if he can just platoon and then use the DH to keep him in the lineup most days, and then he's got to hit lefties. That's what he's got to do. And then he's got to hit a little bit for average. He can't be just homering or striking out all the time. I mean, it's kind of the Brewers' identity a little bit, but like even more to an extreme, Kesten Hero is. Sorry for sounding like Yoda there just now, but I knew what I meant. So I went with Kesten Hero for my position player. Who is your power pitcher?
I picked Eric Lauer. Wanted to give Lauer some love.
Good one.
12 innings pitched, 9 hits, but only 2 earned runs.
All against the Dodgers.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. That was the first thing I wrote down is 2 earned runs, all against the Dodgers. 5 walks, which is but the 9 Ks.
That's nice. I'll take that.
Yeah, 9 Ks, 2 earned runs. That's definitely something I could take away. Eric Lauer has been good this year. So if anybody complains about Eric Lauer, you tell them to shut the hell up.
2 earned runs in 12 innings against the Dodgers.
Yeah, man. And that lineup is stacked.
Dude, that lineup is stupid.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Yeah, get rid of it. Dude, it's going to happen no matter what. It's the worst contract ever. Yeah. And, Matt, that's a perfectly good reason why wins and losses should not be tracked for pitchers.
Yep.
Ashby's gotten that horribly this year. He pitched 7 innings of 2-run ball against the Rockies and got a loss.
That's tough.
Yeah. Meanwhile, like, I'll use last night as an example. So the Brewers gave up 10 runs. Corbin Burns could have given up those 10 runs in the first inning, pitched 4 scoreless after that, finished with 5 earned runs, or 5 innings and 10 earned runs. If the Brewers score 11 in those same 5 innings, Corbin Burns gets a win.
Yeah, that would have been ridiculous.
It's so dumb. Like, I'm glad it's gotten away from that in Cy Young voting, that wins aren't as important anymore, because a dude could have 15 wins and a 5 ERA versus a guy who has, like Brandon Woodruff last year, who had a losing record, but a 2.56 ERA or something like that, and finish 5th in Cy Young voting.
He was better.
Exactly. And yeah, Matt said it again. He kind of reiterated my point. Ashby's a perfect example. You pitch well and don't get run support. Like, how do you control that? Especially without a DH. It's not even like you can bat anymore to try to help your own cause. So there's so much outside of a pitcher's control that happens during a game that they shouldn't be praised or downplayed when it comes to the team winning or losing.
I agree.
Andrew said he doesn't want to trade Yelich unless some parallel universe we could get Ohtani. I mean, that's fair. I mean, we said it. I know I said it a couple weeks ago that we're basically getting this season. We're basically getting the Marlins version of Christian Yelich, the one that we traded for. We're not getting 2018, 2019 Yelich. We're getting the Miami Marlins version that we traded for.
Well, that just means that we're a couple years away from 2018, 2019 Christian Yelich.
Dude, I mean, if that's how that works out, like if next year Christian Yelich is like a leadoff hitter and he's batting like 280 and he hits, say, 20 home runs, and then the following year he's batting like 305 and he's hitting 30 dingers again, like, okay, some people owe him an apology. Like, I think people do anyways, because Christian Yelich has the highest batting average on the team, except for the injured Jace Peterson, leading the team in on base percentage. He's got the most runs. He's got the most hits. He's got the most doubles. I'm pretty sure he's got the most doubles. He's probably close. Willie Adames is probably close. But and Christian Yelich is leading the team in a lot of hitting categories. And just because he hasn't hit 40 home runs this year, people are like, nah, he's going to wear his contract in baseball. So, anyways, back to the power pair. My pitcher, I went with Matt Bush. I thought for a second you were going to go with Brent Suter, to be honest with you. And he would have been worthy, honestly. Like, he pitched very well this past week. But I went with Matt Bush because his pitching looks so good. His fastball, curveball, like, combination is so nasty. I really enjoy watching it. And you know what? He's under team control for next year, too.
Hey, that's a good trade.
Matt Bush will be back next year. Oh, that's awesome, dude. You imagine a back end of a bullpen that's got Matt Bush, Jake Cousins, potentially Brad Boxberger, Devin Williams, Hobie Milner.
Pretty damn good. It's pretty damn good.
Oh, that is awesome to think about. I agree. I feel like Yelich is going to get back to himself eventually. Dude, if Major League Baseball bans the shift, Christian Yelich will be a 300 hitter.
Oh, yeah, easily.
He is. Like, I've highlighted that too, that he's actually in like the 85th percentile in average exit velocity, and he's in like the 90th percentile for hard hit percentage. The dude hits the ball hard. He just hits it at people. Rowdy Tellez has had that happen to him a bunch of times where he smoked line drives that get caught by first baseman.
Yeah, I hate that. It pisses me off.
But then, the Cubs get a little bloop hit that jumps over Colton Wong's head, and people want to blame Devin Williams for it.
Yeah.
Whatever. But, like I said, if they ban the shift, Christian Yelich, he'll probably be one of the guys that benefits the most in all of baseball. Now, speaking of 300 hitters, do you just take a stab at how many 300 hitters you think there are in baseball? Total,
all 30 teams?
Yeah.
This feels like a trick question. I am going to say, I have not looked this up, just so people know. I'm going to say 15.
Lower.
10.
There was 10 as of yesterday. As of today, there are 12.
Oh, Andrew! Ding, ding, ding.
Nice! Matt said 6. Matt went really low. I think there's like 3 of them that are actually dead at 300, and there's like 6 that are between 300 and 308. There are 12 players batting 300 or higher this year.
Wow.
12. Take 30 teams times 26 players. 26 times 3 would be 78. So 780 players. And there are 12 batting 300.
Yeah. That's called perspective.
That's called hitting is down across the league.
True.
So looking at the Brewers, the main thing that I'm looking at them for how they can improve is still striking out less.
Mm-hmm.
They're fourth in baseball in strikeouts. The Braves are the only playoff team that have more than the Brewers. The Brewers still have the fifth lowest zone swing percentage, so the Brewers can just swing more pitches in the zone. It sounds like a really easy thing to say. A lot of the time it comes down to the Brewers just trying to raise pitch count and wait for mistakes. How many are 260 or higher? I'm not sure. I'd have to pull it up again. But like league batting average, I think is in like the 240s is where the average is.
Probably where the Brewers
But
are.
going back to improving, fifth lowest zone swing percentage, so they're not swinging at tons of pitches in the zone. They have the 17th whip percentage, so they're not swinging and missing a ton. It might feel like it because the Brewers strike out a lot, so it might be a situation where a lot of their swing and misses are on 2-strike counts. There's no way to find that out because I just have the total.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like the Brewers are just up there blindly hacking at the ball, and that's leading to their strikeouts. They're still the third lowest in the opposite field percentage. They're sixth in barrel percentage, so when the Brewers are swinging, they're effective. I still feel they just need to swing earlier. Would not wait till they have 2 strikes on you to swing the bat. I will say the Brewers have been pretty unlucky when it comes to getting calls on the edge.
Yeah.
I've not watched a ton of other games outside the Brewers to really know if that's just my perception. But like I said, fourth in strikeouts, fifth lowest zone swing percentage, third lowest opposite field percentage, sixth in barrel, and 17th in whiff. So it's just got to swing more, guys. When it comes to driving up pitch counts, I understand the Brewers want to do that, especially when they're going against left-handed pitching. They're trying to get that guy out of the game. But, if you can rack up 5 or 6 hits in the first inning by chasing a guy, you can still do it that way. And it comes down to execution. As far as Gonsolin is concerned, that dude, like I said, is a Cy Young candidate. He actually went to college with Corbin Burns, which is kind of interesting. But it's really easy to look at this, and this, and say, okay, now just do this one thing to fix it.
Yeah.
I'm just a dude looking at all the statistics and the percentages. It's much easier to do that than it is to go there and actually execute it.
Yeah.
Especially when you're going against the best team in baseball.
True that.
All right. So looking at what's next tonight, the Brewers play the Dodgers again. I did mention Adrian Hauser is back for the Brewers tonight. It'd be really awesome to get a vintage Adrian Hauser game. We are really close to last year when Adrian Hauser threw his complete game shutout against the Cardinals. About 10 days away from the 1-year anniversary of that. So Adrian Hauser, if you're listening and you want to throw a complete game shutout against the Dodgers, that'd be really cool.
That would be really cool.
After that, the schedule does ease up.
Mm-hmm.
So the Brewers have 3 at home against the Cubs, 3 at home against the Pirates, 4 at Arizona, and 3 at Colorado coming. Matt, that's a great idea. Scoring more than the other team. That's probably the best advice we could give.
Pretty simple.
Yeah, that's very simple. Yeah. Like a higher number than the other team.
That's usually a good thing.
Yeah. Especially when like the one that has the most wins. So yeah, having more than the other one.
Yeah, I agree.
I bet that laugh reaction that just came in, I bet that was Matt. Oh shit. All right. Well, that's all I got. I mean, we're looking at tonight, still against the best team in baseball. Like we said, coming into this series after game one, the Dodgers had lost 4 games this month, and 3 of them are against the Brewers.
Yeah.
So the Brewers got a chance to win another one tonight. Yeah. And then the schedule gets a little bit easier. They're easily within striking distance of the wild card. And like I said, 5.5 back of the Cardinals. They came back from being 4 down in September in 2019 against the Cubs. It's still there. There's no reason to put a fork in them or jump off the train or say the Brewers aren't going anywhere, because it's still all super possible. And in the position that they're in, they've done it before recently, within 3 years ago. Yeah. So it's all possible still. It's just a point where if you are a Milwaukee Brewer, having support from the fan base would be much better than hearing the bashing when it comes to mistakes being made. Because the Brewers are going to play again tomorrow. They still have a whole month to go in the season. That's still a long time.
They could be within a half game of the wild card. By tomorrow morning, they could be within a half game. Keep that in mind, people.
Like 7 hours from now, they could be.
Yeah. Keep that in mind.
So, it's still within striking distance for the Brewers.
Yep.
It's not last week of the season and they're 6 games back, and it's like, well, they're not technically mathematically eliminated. No, there's still like 36 games to go, and they're 5.5 back.
Yeah.
In their division, much less a wild card.
Never know, man. You really never know. So
we're getting close to Craig Timber.
Here we are, baby. Oh man, if they just rattle off like 8 straight wins and
that would be nice.
Oh my god, if they get within like 2 games of the Cardinals,
so,
it's gonna be amazing.
Cubs, 3 against the Pirates, 4 against Arizona, that's 10. 3 against Colorado, that's 13. Say the Brewers win 10 of their next 13.
I think I'd have to look at the Cardinals schedule.
Yeah, like the Cardinals schedule, I think it's easier, but like the Brewers is pretty easy.
Yeah, I mean those are.
If they can get a series win against the Dodgers tonight, I'll feel really good.
Yeah, if they win against the Dodgers and say they sweep one of those teams and they go 2 out of 3, 2 out of 3, 3 out of 4, like if they just run these series, the next couple of series, I think things are going to change. People's perception is going to change.
Yeah. Matt, as far as a PhD in baseball winning is concerned, I mean, if you want to teach a class, like, I'll get my bachelor's degree in baseball winning. I can put that on my wall next to my certification for fundamentals of global sports management. I'll have baseball winning right next to it.
You gotta have it behind you, man, so people know.
I don't okay, so like when I get my certificate, I have a feeling it's gonna be like the size of a sheet of paper. Like they're not gonna send me a fucking poster. Like it's gonna be like size of a sheet of paper. Like it's gonna be smaller than my Bucks flag over there. Like you're not gonna see a sheet of paper. And even if you do, it's gonna be like the size of Freddie Peralta, who's way up on the corner up there. Like you're not gonna be able to read that. Yeah, sweeping the Cubs to take the season series would be nice. Andrew was talking about it earlier that Cubs fans there's really not any or many pleasant ones around to deal with.
No, we are not, because the Brewers are assholes, because they did that on purpose, because the Packers start that day.
Yep.
And, we shared that meme a couple weeks ago about your percentages of teams, what percentage you love them and stuff like that. I'll tell you this right now. The Packers own over 50% of that pie. So sorry about that.
Packers are probably around 40%. Yeah, that is Chicago fans for you. I'll probably be rocking dual screens that day. I'll probably have the Packers up on the big TV, and I'll probably have my tablet with the Brewer game on. That's probably how I'll be doing that.
Tim, this is a very serious offer. If you get one of those bobbleheads, I will pay you to ship it to me because I want one very badly. So if you end up with 2 and you want to sell one, you give me a call, okay? Or you just hit me up on Messenger or anything.
Call me first, though. Yes, Andrew, I can agree with you on that too. White Sox fans being less cocky despite being more drunk. I've seen I've seen a lot of videos of Cubs fans fighting amongst themselves.
Yeah.
Like I sat next to my wife and I. We had a 4-pack last year. We sat next to 2 White Sox fans last year. Actually, at a Brewers Pirates game, they were super nice.
That's
White
fair.
Sox fans at a game where they weren't even playing. They just decided to come to Miller Park because it's much nicer than the stadiums in Chicago, and they came and watched. And yeah,
Tim, if you get me that bobblehead, dude, that sucker's going right here, right next to Aaron Rodgers. I got a couple of my bobbleheads. I got more over there, but I don't want to get too cluttered here. But it'll go right next to Aaron Rodgers, next to my Giannis right here. I mean, no. We'll be willing to part with ours. Southsiders aren't rich, but kids like, yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
I don't know. It's true. I try not to interact with Chicago fans when I have the opportunity. Just because they all usually end up being terrible people.
I agree.
But that's something that we hopefully can foster is better relationships with our rivals. As much as we talk about disliking our rivals, I still want it to be a situation more like the Cardinals, where at least I respect the Cardinals, unless they're making trade deals with the Rockies, then fuck them, because it still annoys me that they got Nolan Arenado for peanuts.
Yeah.
Anyways, we'd still like to have that where at least, Cubs fans or Dodgers fans, for example, could watch our show and be like, okay, I at least respect their opinion on it, even if they don't necessarily agree with it or don't like the fact that we are talking about how our teams can win going forward, as opposed to, just saying the Brewers suck or the Brewers had a tough week, like lay it out there for you that the Brewers are 5.5 back and they can still win.
Yep.
So we still want to inspire that respect from our rivals. It should be a little bit easier when it gets to football season and there's only one game per week and there's not 4 different opponents between the next 7 days, but we'll see. That's what we're trying for, at least.
I agree.
All right, man. You got anything else?
No, sir. Everybody tune in Friday. Simon and Brian will be joining us. Have a good Packer episode coming up. And then next Wednesday, we will have Badgers Primer. Mikey will be joining us for that. We won't be on that following Friday. My birthday is that Saturday.
30.
So I'm up. Old fart. My birthday is the same day as the Badgers season opener. So he said, how are we doing payments for fantasy? We will message in the group. We will talk about that.
I'll put that in the group chat. I'll let everybody know what to do with that.
Also, everybody have a great night. And go Pack, go Brewers, go Bucks. I mean, go Wisconsin.
Wisconsin, yeah. Yeah, go Wisconsin.
Go Tyler. Go Tim. All right, man. I'll talk to you later, buddy.
I will see you Friday.
Yes, sir.